I'm mostly mad about how I'm thinking now about the people that are going to make excuses for this is what makes me mad. Andrew Callahan has been one of my favorite content creators here on the platform of YouTube for a while now. He makes some of the best journalism content you're going to find, because it's funny, but it's not because he's doing anything to make people be funny. Most of his content is like very humorous, right? But there is also like educational value, and it is good journalism. You know, there is actual good journalistic like value to get from it. And unfortunately, he used to go by All Gas No Brakes, though the parent company that he had worked for was basically fucking him over. They'd taken his idea, they were barely paying him what he was worth, and he decided to leave that company and start his own thing. And naturally, most of his fan base followed him, thank God. Not a lot of people are lucky enough to be able to, like, completely rebrand like that, and it actually work out. Worked for me when I went from Pig Puncher to Xanderhall, but rebranding is a scary thing, especially when you're like going out on your own like the way he did. But he's got talent. People are there for him, not the parent company that he was a part of, and now he's moving on to bigger and better things, and I'm really proud of him. But recently, as in yesterday, he put out possibly the most long-awaited video from him, at least in my mind. You guys should do this on my video as well. If you watch a content creator and you enjoy their content, and you watch their content frequently, before you even watch their videos, get in the habit of just hitting that like button. Hit that like button. It helps so much. YouTube value, like, look, 1 million views in this video, but only 139,000 people liked it. Can you imagine if half of the people who watched this video actually left a like? He would have like 10 million subs by now if half the people who watched this video had left a like. This video would probably have twice the views if half the people who had watched it left a like, because it would be in the algorithm more. Listen, if you're a YouTube viewer out there, whether you're watching me or anybody else, please get in the habit of liking the videos of your favorite content creators. It helps them out a lot, and it's very simple. It's not a pointless feature that does nothing. It really does help. It does a lot. All right. Anyway, with all the shilling for Andrew Callahan out of the way, let's talk about his most anticipated and recent video, War in Ukraine. It's only 13 minutes long, just about, but he's gone to Ukraine, he's interviewing people, he's asking them what's up. I haven't seen it. I've gotten no spoilers. I heard people cried. I heard like a lot of people cried watching it, so I'm interested to see. I doubt this is going to be a funny one, for the record. I'm not sure about Twitch rules, but CW dead bodies in the video. There is a warning, though. I know streamers have reacted to this video on stream, and I know that he knows people react to it on stream, and Twitch has never really been too down my throat, so I'm not going to worry about it. Rogue Stella, thanks for the tier 1.
Today?
I'm fine. I'm not at home.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine. I'm not at home. I came from Kiev. I really want to go home, but I think it won't be safe for my daughter, so we will stay somewhere here and just wait.
What do you miss most about home?
My ordinary life, just to drink some coffee in my favorite cafe and to bring my daughter to the kindergarten, just normal stuff. It will never be the same as it was.
Oh, God. The fucking air raid sirens. We know those air raid sirens. This is Lviv.
Every time the siren is here, I just tell her that it's fireworks, so we need to hide because she's like 5 years old, and I don't want for her to have a trauma.
Just fireworks?
Yeah, just fireworks, loud fireworks.
Yeah. We never know in what time Russia will send missiles or rockets to our territory. Air attack could be launched on Lviv. So now we need to go to find the nearest shelter just to hide.
We're going to a shelter now in the press building. That was genuinely pretty fucking terrifying each time.
Low-key, though, can I just say, let's hope Ukraine wins this thing and I can visit there one day. Because what a beautiful country. I've learned a lot about Ukraine and seen a lot of how like nice and pretty it is, especially Kyiv during all of this. But particularly, look at this building, like this place.
Shelter
Look at
just
this.
to hide.
We're going to a shelter.
I like this. This looks like it's part of like, maybe this is the opening to a shelter and it just happens to look really dope, but it looks like the inside. This looks like the inside of an American brewery. Like the inside of a really hipster American brewery. Is it a gym? I think it's a gym. He said press building. Yeah, but like it's very possible they converted a gym into a press building during like the invasion. Like anything could be converted into a press building, right? I mean, gyms are pretty like sturdy buildings usually. They tend to be pretty big, sturdy buildings. So maybe they transformed a gym with a basement into a press building. Could have once been a gym. I'm just seeing like just that image right there seems to be like a guy using like what, it's really blurry, so it's hard to tell. It looks like a guy using like a row, like doing rows. An image before and after Russian bombardment in Mariupol. We're watching this.
For now in the press building. That was genuinely pretty fucking terrifying.
Each time it's really scary, especially at the night when you want to try to chill and sleep.
It's gotta suck. Damn. Based.
It is special time for me, for my city, for my country. Last month, 3 times Russia aggressor attack city Lviv.
Officials in the western Ukrainian city of Lviv.
That's how it's pronounced in Ukrainian? Lviv? Lviv. That actually sounds way better than Lviv. Lviv. Can I say it like that now? Was he pronouncing it wrong maybe? Lviv sounds way better. Like basically Lviv. Lviv. I think it's more how he said it. Like the V at the end of Lviv silent. So Lviv. 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 Or whatever, I don't know.
Lviv say Russian missile strikes hit a fuel storage facility on the outskirts of the city.
We could see dark plumes of smoke rising into the sky.
For me, Putin equal Hitler. Russian aggressor attack Ukrainian cities every day.
Global outrage grew.
Do you think that like 100 years from now, history will look back on Putin the same way like we look back on Hitler? And do you think that as more time goes by, history will look back on Hitler a little bit more like horrible, like genocidal maniacs in the past are looked at? Like the longer in the past the genocidal maniac goes, the less like offensive it is to like be a fan of them, right? Like think about it. What's like if somebody was like, oh yeah, I love Vlad the Impaler. He's dope, bro. I'm a follower of Vlad the Impaler, you'd be like, okay, bro, whatever. But then if somebody said, ah, yes, I'm a follower of Adolf Hitler, you'd be like, whoa! Too soon is what it is. Yeah, like, nobody cancels somebody who likes Genghis Khan. You know why? It's because we all got a little bit of his DNA in us. That's how many bitches he fucked.
Today, as more horrific revelations surface from Bucha, Ukraine.
I want to warn you that the images we are about to show you, and even the descriptions of them, are graphic, disturbing, but they are the devastating reality
I remember that.
of Putin's war
That's
on the people of Ukraine.
That's
the town's
Bucha,
mayor saying at least 20 innocent
right?
civilians were shot in the back of the head, and that several hundred civilians are buried in the one.
Dead body warning? I guess. There was no blood, so I mean, it's not exactly like graphic, but if looking at dead bodies bothers you, then maybe this video isn't something you might not want to see this video. I find this tragic and disgusting. It mostly fills me up with anger. Like, I'm mostly mad because it's like, I'm mostly mad about how I'm thinking now about the people that are going to make excuses for this is what makes me mad. I'm not mad at Russia. I mean, I am, but it's not that I'm mad at Russia or the soldiers, because realistically, like the more thought that I put into it, like yes, Russia's doing war crimes, but if you're a Russian soldier and you're being sent in by Putin and you're invading a country, realistically, yeah, everybody is an enemy combatant. You know, a lot of these Russian soldiers don't even want to be there. They're being sent there by Putin. But like realistically for them, they're invading. So yeah, every civilian is a potential combatant. I've thought about it a little bit more like in depth and tried to put myself in the shoes of every party. But like in the case of this, I think what they were showing here was Bucha. This is a more recent story. Basically, it's I believe a little area of Kyiv. And satellite photos were able to show that within the 2 weeks that Russians had occupied that area of Kyiv, there had been a bunch of people essentially tied up, bags over their head, full-on execution-style shot. Civilians, and left in the street to rot for weeks. And I think that's what we might have just gotten close-up photos of, though that same kind of behavior from Russia has been happening all across Ukraine, so that might not have even been Bucha. That could have been other war crimes Russia committed. Nanking massacre type stuff. I mean, I don't like comparing stuff like that, because like the rape of Nanking, like they were putting like babies on bayonets and like grilling them alive over fires, right? I haven't heard anything quite that far yet. I know that there's been like children being raped, there's been like children murdered and stuff, like bad shit, but like I haven't heard anything quite as depraved as what happened in the rape of Nanking. So yeah, I don't know. Let's get off the TOS shit. Let's go.
Once peaceful commuter towns.
What really bothers me, what really upsets me, are the tanky types that are going to make excuses for this kind of shit and will continuously dick ride Putin and make excuses for this, not just for the foreseeable future, but for decades and possibly centuries to come, okay? There will be Putin dick riders 200 years from now.
Grave.
Basically, a load of the Russian troops that are around, like Kiev Oblast, the region on the front lines there, they've pulled back. For the first time, a lot of the Ukrainian troops have like properly moved in there to see like what's happened, and they're just finding like mass graves, over 400.
Jesus.
Probably civilians, you know, old people, young people. They're finding loads of images of people with their hands tied behind their back, dead in the street. It's like it's probably
executed,
right? So
executions.
It's looking like there was a massacre.
All world must isolate Russia next 50 years. Russia, it is Nazi country.
True.
Headshot. Українці, розстрілюємо Путіна. Не сором промахнутися. Сором не стрельнути. Слава Україні! Слава Україні! Героям слава! Сюди, оцей. Супер. 20% цього прибутку йде на фонд «Повертайся живим». Так, якщо маєте можливість, можете на фонд «Повертайся живим» скинути любу, бо тут нема праці. Можете опозоритись.
How did it feel to do that?
Трошки на душі стало легше. Я надію, кількість цих куль переросте в настоящі, і ми її побачимо в мавзолеї або десь закопаною під бетоном. На даний момент ми займаємося гуманітарною допомогою. Якщо мене армія призве, звичайно, я готовий. Ми гуманітарно допомагаємо, там фонд, в частності «Повернись живим», також перераховуємо кошти.
I guess for, you know, a lot of people, they can't be on the front or whatever, but this is their way of donating, this is their way of helping. Everyone is doing something. It's really interesting to see. It's like a community effort, you know, across the whole country.
So it was my play.
Oh shit. Is this a rock gym? Oh! Holy shit, that's so smart. A rock climbing gym would be a perfect place to turn into a bunker. You've got so many pads, like the floor is padded, so the floor can essentially function as a bed if it needs to. There's shit tons of pads and cushions everywhere for sound dampening, people to lay on, everything. There's like obviously stuff to hang everything, and they're usually like solid concrete construction and very like densely built buildings. Oh yeah, and perfect exercise, yeah, and large buildings, lots of space. God, that's such a smart place to build a shelter.
So it was my place where I usually walked after Russia invaded in Ukraine. This place closed for climbing, but it opened for taking refugees here. We are still helping them each day.
They're still doing the climbing there.
Do you want some question for him?
Yeah, sure. What's your name?
Як тебе звати?
Do you like to climb?
Kylo Ren?
What's your favorite animal?
Mason? So, you have a cat called Mason.
Is that Mason? Mason? Mason?
That's a cutie.
All right. Mason's
That
a little
cat
bit
better
camera shy.
survive.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
А потом полицейским. Я хотел маме купить машину, когда вырасту.
He want to buy a car for his mother and to himself.
Взрыв будет, и я буду сам ехать.
Меня зовут Ольга.
420 viewers take a hit, true.
Из города Бахмут, Донецкой области. Мы с вечера собрались и уже до крайней точки Львов. Остаться в ближайшее время, а дальше посмотрим, будет видно как.
Would you prefer to return home or would you like to immigrate into a different country?
Хотелось бы вернуться домой. Естественно, мы скучаем по дому, как развернутся все эти события, и будет ли дома, будет ли куда возвращаться, и если действительно будут какие-то сложные ситуации в плане возврата домой. Какое-то время было спокойно в городе, потом какой-то день в центр города прилетело сразу несколько ракет. Мне стало страшно за ребенка, за себя, семью, и мы приняли решение выехать.
How do you explain what's going on to your son?
Когда это было далеко от нас, и комендантский час, и так далее, он видел в городе военных и военную технику. Он задавал вопросы, почему они здесь, не внедрялась в подробности, не вникала.
Do you like staying
You
here?
understood? Holy shit.
Я тут только на канате таком, на этой, на мате.
Yeah, my mom wouldn't have sugarcoated it for me either. She would have told me exactly what's up, and she would have been very, very, very pressing with how serious the situation was. Yeah, Jesus, yeah. Smart kid. That kid's fucking smart. And he's like already climbing and shit. He's gonna grow up to be a Chad. Or a Stacy. You know, gender's not fucking bound. Thanks also, Resasutra. You gifted 2 subs. Mine would have super sugar-coated it. Yeah, how sugar-coated would the situation have been if you had grown up in this place? Let me know in chat or in the comment down below. How sugar-coated your parents would have been with the situation if you were growing up during the invasion of Ukraine and you know, you were in the situation of, say, this child here.
Good in this situation. Well, I'm glad you were able to bring Mason with you.
Обязательно в любом случае мы бы не оставили.
My grandmother was from this city he's in right now, Lviv, and had to flee the place. She sugarcoated the shit out of it for me, but my mom told me she saw some shit. Damn, Ivanovich.
Его дома без присмотра. Он полноценный член нашей семьи.
That was 1944, Jesus. He klimb.
Out of the more than 4 million people who fled Ukraine, over 2.3 million are now in Poland.
14. Yeah, 14. I came off Kryvyi Rih, it's the center of Ukraine. My little brother and my aunt came to Peremyshel with me.
Hell yeah.
And I like very scared because my dad is
Refugee escaping from the Russian army, doesn't matter, still played Minecraft.
in Kryvyi Rih. Yeah, it's scary situation.
He
Very
just
scary
like me
situation.
for real.
What do you miss most about home?
My friends, my 4 best friends in Hungary, in Slovenia, in Ireland, and I haven't connect with them.
If you had to pick one friend that you wished you were with right now, which friend would it be?
I think like Dima. In my school, he sit back for me. He is quite funny and he's like, he can smile me all of.
Oh, she misses her crush. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, that's so sad. Is he back in Ukraine? Dude, I'm fucking. Oh, no wonder people are. No wonder people cried.
I want to hear his jokes of teachers and like I want to usual life.
That's a pretty building.
Декілька днів тому приходило по 6 потягів, і можна легко порахувати, що кожний потяг вміщував по 3 тисячі осіб.
What do you think is the biggest challenge that refugees face whenever they get from Ukraine to Poland?
Така, що люди приїжджають в чужу державу і не можуть зорієнтуватися. Кожен боїться за своє життя, за своїх дітей. Дуже дивно те, що, наприклад, українці в Російській Федерації живе коло більше 5 мільйонів осіб всебічного освітлення цієї війни, і тому рахують, що...
Oh, fuck. Chat, what do you think's going on with Ukrainians that live in Russia? I haven't heard shit about that. Dude, there's no fucking way Russia isn't doing some fucked up shit to Ukrainians, like Ukrainians in Russia, and to anybody that they think is sympathetic to Ukraine and Russia. Like, I know they paint, they spray paint white Z's in the doors of anybody that, publicly supports Ukraine. That's what the people will do. But I don't even know what the government's been up to. And let's just say the journalistic freedom in Russia isn't exactly going to be broad enough for us to find out what's up there until somebody leaks something. Like, I would not be surprised if there are some sort of camps going on, okay? There's got to be camps. There's no way there are not camps. No, a country like Russia does not go to war with another country and send suspected sympathizers to camps, okay? America did that with Japanese people back during World War II, okay? There's no way Russia doesn't have camps.
Російська армія робить правильно.
In Russia, Vladimir Putin's approval rating is soaring despite his disastrous invasion of Ukraine.
It's now above 80%.
Киев никто не бомбит, я этому не верю.
Путин такого не мог сделать. Напасть на Украину, тем более.
Every day, Russian state television accuses the West of fake news over Ukraine.
Это Зеленский все делает. Американцы.
Я за Путина. Я хочу вам показать. Я за Путина.
None of this is, by the way, this backs up everything I was talking about before. You see all of this? Any population can be brainwashed into supporting fascism. Putin isn't just a fascist who's taken power and the people can't do anything about it. Putin is a fascist with at least fairly significant Russian support. The 80% figure is a misrepresentation. I think, No Fuckers did a video on it. 80%'s a misrepresentation, but there is still a sizable portion of people in Russia who are not only in support of Putin, but who are so deluded and who live in a reality so divorced from the one that we exist in that they think that Putin and this whole invasion isn't even happening. I'm actually going to use this as an example in the future when people say that speech can't have an effect on the population of a country. I'm going to point to Russia. Look at Russia. Look at Putin's approval rating, despite how shit everything in Russia is right now and how evident the invasion is and how much it's fucking them over. They don't even believe the invasion is real. A massive portion of the population of Russia has been brainwashed. Are they all stupid? No. It's because populations are susceptible to brainwash because it's kind of like a more extreme version of that thought theory. What was it called? The shadows on the wall, the people who are shackled up their whole lives and all they can ever see are the shadows in the walls. What's it called? Does anybody know what that's called? Plato's Cave. The idea behind Plato's Cave is a simple one, okay? The idea is that if you took a bunch of people and you stuck them in a cave deep below ground where no light could get in, and you shackled them there, unable to turn their heads and only they could look straight forward. They would obviously be fed and watered or whatever, but they could only look straight forward at the wall. Behind that wall, where there would be a fire projecting light onto that cave, and there'd be people with cutouts of wood, different shapes or whatever, that would be, shadow casted onto the wall. And, that would be that, right? These people would live their entire lives experiencing nothing but what was shown onto the wall. Now, this is usually used as a thought experiment to talk about our inability to, understand what we can't perceive. However, I think it also applies well here. You are only capable of understanding what you have experienced in your whole life. And for a lot of people growing up and living in Russia, they have lived with an entire lifetime of propagandized indoctrination. And now it's only getting worse. The same is true of America. Conservatives have fought long and hard to sanitize the American history and erase the parts of our history that don't make America look as good as they would like it to look. It's the same thing. They're trying to narrow down the view of knowledge that the average American has, so that just like they've done in Russia, the GOP and figures like Trump can gain almost absolute electoral power. Xander Hall, have you seen the fucker's new video? Yes. I feel like I'm popping off, by the way. Hey, chat, listen. I feel like I'm popping off, by the way. Like, I feel like I am just hitting every nail on the fucking head right now with every point I want to make. Damn, I'm usually not this well-spoken. I'm proud of myself. I'm getting better at this. I feel like I've gotten a lot better at streaming lately. I always feel like I get better at things that I do in like feats, you know, like I'll get better at like significantly better at a thing, and then I'll stagnate for a while, and then suddenly I'll get significantly better at the thing again, and you know, just maintain that for a while, not stagnate, but maintain that quality, but then just suddenly get better at it again. Like, it's not a slow, deliberate improvement. It's more of like a jagged like spike in improvement for some reason after, like, yeah, I don't know. Which arc is this? The Xander Hall good at streaming arc.
One of their claims is that the bodies in these photos,
yeah, this is the Bucha
lying on the ground,
massacre.
Apparently dead bodies were placed there by Ukrainian radicals, as they're called, or Nazis.
So I think I've seen this before. What is this flyer right here?
So A3OB Azov Battalion is neo-fascist battalion here in Ukraine. They've been going since the start of the revolution, so 2014.
The group was known to have ties to neo-Nazi movements, and its leader was even quoted once as saying Ukraine's purpose was to, quote, lead the white races of the world.
To Russian President Vladimir Putin, their far-right politics a justification to claim that Ukraine needs to be denazified.
Not to say that they're not there, they're fighting right now in Mariupol. You know, they've been basically defending that city along with the Ukraine Marines. But they make out like that's everybody and everybody believes in it, sort of thing. There's a real problem where people either like just deny it exists or they emphasize on it too much.
This would be like if like China invaded the US and some gang of redneck hicks got together and started fighting back like soldiers from like the invading forces as like an independent militia, but they were all like racist, and then like other countries started accusing America of being that because there's like one redneck militia defending like one city in America. Though if we want to scale it correctly, this is more like one small town being defended, more like it, or more like one state actually, sorry. Azov is part of the Ukrainian military, though. This comparison is wrong, lol. Yeah, that is true. That is worth considering. But at the same time, like, America has strong ties to, like every part of, like, American law enforcement has some level of a tie to, like, white supremacy. Not everyone, but a lot. Like, it's a big problem. It's not a good thing, but, like, let's not pretend like it's exclusive. Ukraine's not a Nazi country. Every country in the world has a Nazi problem. Every country in the world has a Nazi problem. Right now, Ukraine's leadership is decidedly left-leaning. And I don't really blame Zelensky or the current leadership for not dissolving the Azov battalion on the eve of invasion. It's just not really something that I can blame him for.
Much. And really they don't have much influence like politically. So, you know, when Russia was saying they're a Nazi junta, it's like, well, then they're the worst one that ever happened, because Zelensky, who was a Jew, some of his family died in the Holocaust under the Nazis.
Yeah, sure, Lonnie.
He got 73% of the vote in a country of 44 million. I think what you have to do is look at Russia. So Russia has a much more serious Nazi problem. And there's a lot of evidence that they're connected to the FSB, Russian internal intelligence services. So they have a problem. Siren.
Should we go to a shelter or something?
Yeah, we should probably go to a shelter, yeah. if we want to get a look at the other side of things that isn't reported as much, we could go and talk to the anarchists. They're doing aid. They're taking stuff all over Ukraine. They're not making a big noise about it, but they're doing it not just to anarchist groups, to any soldiers that need it, you know. So that's another part of this thing.
Anarchists run aid in Lviv.
As a tour guide in a history museum. 10-20 kilometers from Bucha, Irpin areas. I used to cycle in that areas a lot. It's fucked up. If Russians occupy it, they will kill off every political...
These are the Xander Hall fans and the Voshites here.
Active person, no matter of his political views. The side which really needs denazifying right now, in my opinion, is Russia.
Why are Nazis fighting with leftists on the front lines?
If the fight is lost, there will be no one left. No right wing, left wing. It will be eradicated.
Ну і власне у них достатньо ресурсів для того, щоб розповсюджувати цю фейкову інформацію на весь світ, і в тому числі є багато західних медіа, які прислуховуються до Росії.
The Kremlin views Tucker Carlson's commentary as quote essential in its wartime messaging strategy. That is according to a leaked 12-page memo from a Russian government agency to the Russian.
God, left-wing mainstream media outlets need to adopt fucking virtue signaling patriotism so much more. God, can you imagine if CNN, MSNBC, fucking so on, adopted even half of the American, like, pro-America imagery? Not the substance, the imagery that Fox News does? Like, I feel like they could pull in so many more ratings and change so many more minds with just a little bit more of a pro-America aesthetic.
Media. What is this really about? Why do I hate Putin so much? Has Putin ever called me a racist? Did he manufacture a worldwide pandemic that...
I'm sorry, when we're talking about the mainstream, MSNBC and CNN are the left wing in mainstream news, okay? We're talking mainstream news. MSNBC and CNN are the left. Fox News and so on, that's the right. Overton Windows, pretty damn fucking right wing when it comes to the mainstream media.
Wrecked my business and kept me indoors for 2 years. Is he trying to snuff out Christianity? Does he eat dogs? Is he making fentanyl? These are fair questions, and the answer to all of them is no. Vladimir Putin didn't do any of that.
Putin is doing the right thing. He's taken out the Syrian mafia.
It's not an invasion. They can easily fake a war.
Ну це просто весело, це типу як будь-які інші фейк-ньюс.
So what are the most important items that you need right now?
Helmets and bulletproof vests, certain kinds of medicine.
Потім речі, які дозволяють там не замерзнути.
Hey, isn't it funny how the conservatives and Trump supporters that he interviewed sounded exactly like the Putin supporters in Russia? Isn't it funny how they sound exactly the same? Different languages, talking about different, well, the same thing actually. Different languages, same exact kind of people.
Типу спальників, одягу, карематів і так далі. Теж те, що може знадобитися як цивільним, так і на фронті.
Damn. Well, that was a great-ass fucking video. Well, if you enjoyed my response to it, and, well, not even a response, because I wasn't, like, responding to it. I wasn't, like, a hostile viewing. But if you like my reaction to that video, please consider leaving a like on my video. And on this one as well, there will, of course, be a link in the description to the original video, as well as in the pinned comment, because we like to make sure that we're supporting the channels that we're covering on this channel, unless it's, like, in a you know, response type manner. So of course this is Channel 5 with Andrew Callahan as usual. You guys know the drill. Gonna go ahead and drop that motherfucking link in the chat. There you go. Enjoy that, okay? Enjoy that. Have fun. Be free. How many right-wingers do you bet are seething in his comment section because he indicated Tucker Carlson was bad? Probably a lot. Anyway, leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell icon, follow my social media, all linked down below, including my Instagram, Twitter, fan Discord, TikTok, and of course, make sure to consider supporting me financially by donating, subscribing, or gifting us up on my website, supporting me on YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, and through Stream Elements, as well as Patreon. With all that said, thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.